Good afternoon. This is the Wednesday edition of the Daily Blooms. This is February 22nd, 2017. We're in a 3-day warm up here, 60s and flirting with 70 on Friday. So we're getting a little early spring. Today we're going to look at an orchid, some orchids that I got an order this morning from Orchids by Hauserman, which is out in Chicago, who's having their open house this weekend and next weekend. I didn't expect to get the order until after that, so I was pleased that I got it early. What we're looking at right now is the twinkle that is in bloom. The one that I mounted and is doing very nicely. It's in full bloom now at the moment. Here's another one that is similar to the one that I had that was in bloom earlier this month. That one is done now, but this is another one coming on. It has 5 buds, or will have 5 blooms altogether. 3 are open right now with 2 buds. This one, of course, is the one that a lot of people have been raving about. That came from Marble Branch Farms a couple years ago in bloom right now. We'll pause now and go look at the orchids that came in the order today. So with the orders that came today, there was like 18 plants in the order from Orchids by Hauserman. It was in Chicago, and we will take a closer look at them now. Up here is a beauty. It's a Melatonium, a pink. As I look at it, it has at least 5 new growths on it. There's one there, one up there, couple 3 up above more. So if that blooms this year, which I'm hoping it will, it's a beautiful plant that made the whole order worthwhile in my view. That'll be a beauty. Next to it is a mounted mini Cataleya. The name of it is Eric. I had the plant that I've had for a couple years, which is right down here in bloom now. That mount that I just showed you will have this type of a bloom. So imagine that mount, if you will, with a bloom on it like this. On this plant, as I looked at it, it has like 3 more at least sheaths in here that will have 2 to 3 buds, maybe even more in them. This will be blooming probably for a couple months, so I'm kind of hoping this stays in bloom so I can enter it in the Genesee Region Orchid Society show that's in Rochester, April 1st and 2nd at the Eisenhart Museum of Science. The auditorium is across the road from the Museum of Science, so keep that in mind. You'll be hearing more about it as we get closer to the date. Continuing with the orchids that I bought and unpacked, I bought 6 masdevallias. I bought masdevallias from them before, and they are very nice, mature, blooming size plants. This is about the size you get them, and I have grown them before to sizes like this and like this. For me, they seem to grow very well, and I like them quite well. This is a mini Cataleya that I also have a plant of. It has very beautiful pink flowers on it, and I decided I wanted to get another one so that I could mount it. Can't get the tag out, so you'll have to wait to see that, but I have featured the other one in bloom in previous daily bloom reports. I also got a matured Dracula from them. This is Dracula Felix. Probably can't make out the name, but I will be putting that into a net pot because it's Dracula's bloom from the bottom. So I'm rather surprised that Orchids by Hauserman would sell them in a solid pot, because the blooms definitely come out of the bottom of the pots. So we need to get that done right away. This I think is a seedling Cataleya, I'm not sure. And this is an Orangus, I guess is how you pronounce it, an Orangus. And it's a small plant. I did also got 3 mini Phalaenopsis. All 3 of them have 2 small spikes on, and I'll be mounting them on a piece of cork bark. Next to it is a very small mounted one, definitely a mini. Don't know much about it. We'll grow it to the best of our ability and hope that it does well. Also is a Cataleya, another Cataleya. Says it's a mini. That one is supposed to be a mini, but it almost looks like a compact. And over in the back we have another one that they say is a mini, but it looks more like a compact to me. Time will tell as it nears blooming. It has bloomed. There's probably 5 previous blooms, I mean where the blooms have been on it. And that shows the orchid plants that we got from Orchids by Hauserman. I'm also going to show you how my cork bark comes. Comes in a big box like this. This was a 20-pound box of round bark. You cut up, decide how you want to plant it, or whatever the case might be, plant in it. There also is a mixture of smaller size pieces of bark that I've already used a lot of. And also here is medium sizes that I have to cut up yet to use. I do use the big sizes sometimes for extra large plants. And here is a bale of AAA grade sphagnum moss that I use on the mounts. I guess that'll probably wrap things up for today. Saturday, Mr. Bill Green's challenge of anybody that does videos in the orchid world to make a 60-second video showing my orchids. And it will be interesting to see how many people participate in that. From what I've read, there are several that have said they want to. So it could be 10, could be 50. Look for it on YouTube. That's this Saturday. Describing and showing your orchids in 60 seconds. So that'll be an interesting thing to participate in, which I intend to do. So until Saturday, this is Dave, and thanks for viewing. Until Saturday, so long.